Welcome to Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee, a weekly program exploring important trends in health.
In 2000, a struggling pharmacist in Manitoba, Canada, came up with an innovative strategy to address lagging sales. In possession of a large supply of low-cost Canadian price-controlled Nicorette gum, he offered the product to U.S. consumers over the internet on eBay. So began the spectacular, though short-lived, rise of a new industry. The seeds for early success were evident to all within 2 years of the Nicorette offering. By 2002, Canadian online monthly drug sales to the United States had reached $4.7 million. Just 2 years later, profits had grown nearly tenfold. The growth was solidly built on three distinct pillars. The first, a significant drug price differential between Canada and the United States as a function of Canadian price controls and somewhat slower access to new drug discoveries. Second, the expanding distribution of the internet and its use to explore comparative pricing and enable electronic purchasing. And finally, the broad availability of overnight delivery to communities small and large across the United States. While the opportunity to, in effect, build your own market by utilizing the internet to ignore geographic differences in pricing, credentialing, licensure, and oversight seemed undeniable to both buyer and seller alike, the politics of it were immediately contentious. Those arguing to allow the practice pointed to a growing aging population burdened with chronic disease, forced to choose in the full glare of network television news between food and medicine. Debates arose over drug affordability, and these, combined with extensive and porous borders separating common cultures, made hopping on a bus to Canada with your constituents seem like a political no-brainer. Those arguing against the practice believed that the high disparity in market size between Canada and the United States would rapidly result in a drawdown on the Canadian online pharmacy supply of Canadian drugs, forcing them to buy from less reputable sources in countries around the world. The predicted result, counterfeit drugs, sold to you as Canadian but highly unreliable and potentially harmful. Pharmaceutical companies supplying medicines to Canadian wholesalers for its pharmacies and citizens, many of them U.S.-based multinationals, also agreed that the negotiated pricing with Canada was a process specific to that market, within those geographic borders. To provide an unlimited supply of Canadian-priced products to these wholesalers to subsequently distribute worldwide would in effect bypass all the distinct pricing agreements and regulations with other countries around the world, fundamentally undermining trade policy, pricing, and the markets themselves. What has happened since 2004 is an interesting case study in consumer empowerment, globalization, and the economics of supply and demand in a world made smaller by the internet and the easy global transport of people and products. First, the numbers. Canada's online monthly drug sales to the U.S. peaked in 2004 at $43.5 million. 2005 witnessed a 33% decline to $29.6 million, with an additional 25% decline to approximately $22 million projected in 2006. Thus, in 2 short years, the market has been cut in half. This is reflected as well in declining numbers of employees, which dropped from 4,000 to under 3,000 between 2004 and 2005, and continues to decline. The startling turnaround has been a function of a confluence of economic and political factors. First, the Canadian dollar has strengthened, making Canadian products overall somewhat more expensive in the United States. Second, pharmaceutical suppliers tailored sales to Canadian wholesalers to the historic norms for local sales prior to the internet boom, in essence making it more difficult for these middlemen to supply the world. The large distributors like Manitoba's Universal Drugstore next turned to Europe, Australia, New Zealand for supply, which further drove up their costs and potentially undermined the quality of the secondary supply chain, which itself could be drawing supply from tertiary illegal or counterfeit producers. Third, the U.S. government, which considers internet drug purchasing across borders as both illegal and unsafe, released a highly publicized study in December 2005 of seized Canadian drugs that they had ordered over the internet. The findings? 43% of the products were not even Canadian, but rather originated from India, Costa Rica, Israel, and beyond. Drawing the response from the FDA commissioner, quotes, "These results make clear there are internet sites that claim to be Canadian that in fact are peddling drugs of dubious origin and efficacy, potentially harmful to public health." Finally, in the past 2 years, the market for medicine for U.S. seniors and other citizens at risk has changed. Passage of the Medicare Modernization Act provided some immediate relief with drug discount cards, and the Medicare Part D kicked in on January 1, 2006, despite controversy over a wide range of service issues. In addition, the traditionally competitive pharmaceutical companies have joined hands to harmonize their pharmaceutical relief programs for low-income Americans, allowing a single process for doctors and at-risk patients to access. All this, according to David McKay, former executive director of the Canadian International Pharmacy Association, is bad news for Manitoba. Monthly drug sales have declined up to 30% since Part D went into effect, and numbers of pharmacies in the province have declined from 70 in 2004 to 32 in 2006. And the world continues to turn. For Health Politics, I'm Mike McGee.
Thank you for watching Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee. If you are accessing Health Politics with a portable device, please visit our homepage, healthpolitics.com, for more information on this topic and many others. If you are watching Health Politics on the Internet, please visit the links below for additional information. Download the transcript and slides to share with friends or colleagues, or use the discussion guide to help generate conversations in the classroom. If you are not yet a Health Politics subscriber and would like to begin receiving a weekly email to keep you up to date on our latest programs, please click on Subscribe to Health Politics above and enter your email address. Again, thank you for watching Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee.